Okay,
So the
proceed with
question,
the question. Okay.
okay, some of the question is what is the difference between kernel and nut? The difference between kernel and nut. Then what's the difference between a jute bag, a bush bag, and a PP bag? That's another question. Then trying to see how you get these questions down.
Okay, let him take it from here. Let's then once we finish, then you can.
Okay, let me talk about kernel and nuts. Okay, let me use cashew to describe it. Then I can do some other products. Now, when you talk of cashew nuts, you know, cashew, the real cashew nut. Okay, yeah, how many of us have seen cashew nuts on the tree when it's growing before it matures? I hope we know. It has the lobe part, that's the fresh part, and it has the seed part. Now, by the time it matures or it ripes and is plucked out, ordinarily in developed world, what you do is you harvest, you chop off the lobe for juice processing, and the nut that is the nut. Okay, the nut is that one with the body, everything in it is the nut. Now that has the, let me use biological terms to describe them. It has the exocaps and the endocaps. The which is the outer layer, while the endocap is layer. Now that's the nut. So a nut consists of the kernel and its body. That's the endocap and the exocap. Now the endocap is the kernel. Now you shell you shell that I'm going to describe it literally. That's not how you shell the nut. And when you shell the nut, you have the lobes inside, white, fresh lobes inside. That's the kernel. You understand? This with some other items like palm nuts and palm kernel. Use of palm is even a little bit more complex than this because palm has up to the mesocap, the endocap, and the exocap. So you remove all those ones, and before you get to the endocap is used to make palm kernel oil. While the oil you make the mesocap is what is called. Did you get us? If you're following, let me know. The make from the palm nut is called palm oil. Then that's the outer layer, the mesocap that is processed into that. Then you get to the exocap and you have to the endocap. Now the endocap, you process it, the palm kernel, you get what is palm kernel oil. Palm kernel oil is the one used to rub body, and you can bleach it into gasoline. You can use it to bleach it into gasoline or other kind of oil used for other things, whether medicinal or the other one. You know what I'm talking about. If you are Igbo, it's called ake. The ake that you eat when you break the the cap. That's the the cap. That's the shell. When you the shell, you get the endocap. That endocap is the kernel. I hope that explains the difference between um, nuts and kernel. I've used two commodities to explain them. Okay, so that's how kernel is different from the nuts. Then we talk about the second one. The second question you asked is the difference between bush bag and PP bag. Now, bush bag is, farmers, some of the things we now, farmers don't understand them. Farmers does not know that you process things. Farmers does not know the specification that your buyer wants. Farmer does not know the packaging need. For instance, I don't know how many of us that used to go to markets where something like cassava is sold. A farmer will harvest the cassava from his farm, put it in the bag, and send it to market that way. That's bag. The same thing for all the commodities, whether it is groundnut, it is cashew nut, it well, whatever it is, whatever item that the farmer is harvesting, he harvests it, put it in one dirty looking, haggard bag. He doesn't care of the weight, he doesn't of the size, he doesn't care about anything. All he knows is that you place them inside the bag and take it to either the market or an off-taker or anywhere that he's supposed to sell them. So he carries them to that point, getting ready to sell. So at that point, that is called the bush bag. Now, in that bush bag, no precautions, no is taken into consideration. So that's what we call a bush bag. Now, by the time you, exporter, who knows your onions or specification that your buyer wants or wants to ensure that your goods complies to quality standard that is specified, pick those raw goods the farmer brings, you begin to process them. Let me give you a typical example of groundnut. You know that groundnut comes in big bags that we call bush bags. When it is shelled, you shell it and the groundnuts inside the bag. You send it to the market in that manner. But as a processor, if you want to export these groundnuts, you are probably, if the buyer specifies that you are going to graduate them, then you are going to process them by grading those products. Grade them. There are big nuts, small nuts, there are medium sizes. Now, what you're going to do is you sort them by sizes so that bags that contain medium sizes, bag that contains big sizes will contain big sizes, the bag that contains the small sizes will contain small sizes. Let me use a typical cashew nut to describe it. The cashew kernel. After processing cashew kernel, there's what is called W180, W2, W320, W450. Now, what those sizes means is that 180 nuts of W180 on the average gives you 1 kg. What 240 W240 means is that on the average, 240 nuts gives you 1 kg. W320 nuts gives you 1 kg. Why W450 means that 450 on the average gives you 1 kg. You don't mix them together because as graduated in different prices. If 180 is selling for $8,000 per ton, 240 will sell for 7.5. 320 we sell for 7,000. Y450 we sell for 6.5. You can see the price differentiation. Now, those are the things you do. Now, when you do this kind of processing, then there's a packaging that is required by your buyer. Let me start with this cashew before I will explain PP bags. The cashew is not packed in PP bags. That's the cashew kernels. Meanwhile, the cashew nut is packed in jute bag. You know what we call jute bag? That bag that look made from wool is thick and heavy. Fish wool bag. That's called jute. The nut is packed in that bag. But the kernel is in a nylon bag, vacuumed and packed. You see, that's the standard, and that is what the buyer requires. Now, there are commodities like soya bean, soya meal, soya cake. Those ones are in PP bags, like charcoal and some other commodities like maize and so on. They are packed in PP bags. PP bags is polypropylene bags. They are these bags that we use in packing. Let me use it to describe it so that you understand it. That bags, they are woven bags made from polypropylene. They are used for goods, especially commonest is rice. That bag we use in packing rice is called PP bags. But on PP bags, there are two types. Some are laminated, some are not laminated. When they say it is laminated, it means that there is a nylon that is placed inside. That nylon that is placed inside tends to preserve the goods from moisture penetration. But it has implication. The implication is that if your moisture level is also high, it's not going to dry further when it is in the PP bag, laminated, because it also, the way it prevents moisture from entering, it also prevents moisture from going out. So that's a laminated bag. But the ones that are woven bags, not unlaminated, there's tendency that moisture will enter inside. What do I mean by moisture will penetrate? If rain or water touches it, it will wet the content of the bags. Okay, so for certain commodities that are special, the buyer will specify, please use PP laminated bags, or please use just PP bags. So these are the things you need to understand so that you will be able to adhere to standards or the instructions or tenets of your contract agreement, because it will specify your packaging there. Even if he wants you to pack in cartons, he will also specify. If he wants you to put in pallets, he will also specify. So those are the things for the two questions that you asked. I hope I are taking time to explain them. You can go ahead with some other questions that you want to ask.
Okay, now the other question is what does bleach in the process of I think under hibiscus flower, you talk about bleaching. So I want to ask what does bleaching mean? Then under
Sorry,
shea butter,
I didn't get your question. Please, can you repeat?
bleaching as in BLEACHING. Doctor, you said something about bleaching.
Bleaching, yeah, bleaching. Okay.
Bleaching, that's another one. Then another one is what is FF value? What is lamb? FF value, what is lamb? I don't know what that means.
FF value and what?
Lamb, LAM, lamb. Then
She,
I
LAM.
use
she mentioned
yes,
bleaching, lamb, and S SA was that
FF value.
SS value.
FFA.
F,
Lamb.
F, letter F.
LBS, not lamb.
No, not lamb. Oh, I said LAM. Lamb. I think it's LAM. Yes, that's it.
L
LAM. Under
in,
LAM.
in which aspect was he mentioned?
That was shea butter.
Shea butter.
Which
Okay. Okay.
talk about machine
Okay.
processing
Yes.
application. When the water
Let me
application is
okay.
controlled. So
Let me describe them one after the other.
okay.
Bleaching means just the normal English word bleaching. You bleach material from that's the English word, normal word. Although scientifically you can call it um, a blending or processing. You bleach, for example, locally, the local way of bleaching oil is to use fire to bleach palm oil into you. By the time you boil it on fire, you bleach it from palm oil into maybe close to vegetable oil because you're using a crude method. But if it is by machinery, you can refine it. That's a better word to use into vegetable oil. So in the process, you bleach. That's what you did. But it passes through refining process. Okay? Do you understand that? That's number one. Then FF value is called free fatty acid. That's the word, free fatty acid. Now, free fatty acid is used to measure the fatty content of every
Okay.
oil producing commodity. Um, any commodity that is made from oil, fatty acid determines the quality, stability of that product. Now, the higher the more dead that product is, which means it contains a lot of cholesterol. The lower the FF,
We can't hear you.
the better the quality of that product because it contains. I said the FF is called the free fatty acid. It is the measure of the fatty content in the oil. So the higher the value of the SFA, the dangerous the product is. And the lower the of the FFA, the more safe the product is in consumption. So that's what you have to understand about the fatty acid. But assuming a product has the same product, one has 2.0 FFA value. That one has 1.0 FFA value. With 1.0 FFA value is of quality than the one with 2.0 FFA value. It is that one with 1.0 is safe, more tolerable than the one with 2. So that's how you measure of the same commodity. Mind you, you are measuring based on the commodity. You don't measure based on cross commodities because there are some commodities entirely with a very high FF value that you need to bring down, but you cannot be measuring the FF value of, say, shea butter and coconut. You cannot. The reason is that are not of the same products. Value in shea butter 2.0, but FFA value acceptable in oil is 0.5. So you can see it doesn't mean different shea butter that will come. The quality of 1.5 is better than the quality of 2.0 in FFA value. So you understand. So that's FFA value. Lamb, LAM. Now, tends to, it is used for oil. That tends to determine the level at which the
Oh, you're really breaking.
oil or the will be liquid or will be in solid form. Do you understand? Hello? So that will tell you the level of which will still be in a solid form. When it goes below that pressure, is supposed to turn liquid. For example, for shea butter, under room temperature, between that range, is supposed to still be in a solid form. So the same thing that happens with palm oil, that it gets to a particular temperature, it is in a solid form. But when it exceeds that temperature, it becomes liquid. So you use it to determine the breaking point. Okay.
Okay,
Next
Valentina,
question, please.
did you hear all that? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. I'm taking note of those answers.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Amara, are you settled now?
Yes, I'm settled now.
Okay, that's fine. So
I've been following.
yeah, apart from this, because we wanted to bring you to speed with what you missed in the last class, as a matter of fact. So I know you have taken the online course. That's one. Then secondly, you were able to watch the video I sent to you so that I can be able to catch up with what we did last week. Now
Yeah.
I want to know, is there any clarification you will need? Okay, and do you have any question, whatsoever?
Okay. I think everything is actually clear. Having watched that video, because while I was um reading the notes for that's when I was following the online session, I had a bit of um unsettled things, but after watching the YouTube video, I think a lot of things became clear. It became
Okay.
clear. So the only part that I don't really get is the part of having to register, like all those documentation processes before you can start to import. Yes. So I want to know, is it like does it mean that you won't be able to do normal importation exportation without registering?
Okay, Mr. Joseph.
Okay, Amarachi, thank you for your very great questions. Okay, now
for every clan from every nation, there is a standard for business. Now, the
Okay.
standard for export business in Nigeria is that you must register at least a limited liability company.
Okay.
That's so you must register that. Two, you must be a licensed exporter for you to be able to do that. That is two. Then three, the procedures required will mean that you have an NFP account to be able to do the business. Okay. Now, these are the policies that government has put in place for you to follow the normal protocol. Now, with these things, they will be able to keep track of what you do. Regulations does not mean to stop us from doing business or make business difficult. No. Regulations are made so that we should have traceability of our business. So that whatever you do, they can easily refer to them or trace them. For instance, you want to export a material. Believe me, if you did not probably have a license, you do not open an NSP account, and you did not pass through the right channel, and suddenly your product gets to somewhere in Europe and there's
Okay.
an issue, they will not be able to trace who sent it to that place.
Okay. Okay.
You understand? So, but if you have a process and something happens, even when someone wants to adulterate your goods,
Hmm.
the first thing, does this person have authority to do this business? The answer is yes, because you have followed all the normal protocols. So you have authority to do the business. So they trace down to you and confirm whether this good originated from you or not. So that's the essence of regulation. It's not to make it difficult for people to do business. Okay, that's
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Ruben. So, if there are further questions, I will ask. But for
okay.
now, no questions.
Okay.
Okay. Just for emphasis, um, sorry, can we mute for emphasis? I will also want to mention there are people that are also exporting informally. That's okay, and the only
Exactly.
thing is that when they incur a problem, because every business has their their challenges and their downtime, and they will lose everything. They will definitely lose everything. Okay, usually in this part of West Africa, people send things to Ghana. They don't have all those registration, and those are the ones that custom keep chasing, because that's where custom get their own money. All those illegal payment and checkpoints, they're the one that do it. They can be tagged as smuggling. It's just that they have a way of settling themselves with custom, and if peradventure there's a change in those maybe the person that used to be in the border when were crossing, if the guy is no more there, the other person will hold you and you will not do anything, because everything you're doing, there is no documentation to back. Do you understand? So
Okay.
you definitely lose everything. It's a very risky business, as a matter of fact. And but once you have all these documentations, you are in a safer hand. You can even sue the government. Okay, and whatever claims you have, there are chances you're gonna get it, because you are doing it legit. It's formal. It's very quite formal. So we encourage our exporters to follow the formal route. Okay, whatever it be, because it's formal, you will always put it into your negotiation with the client that is buying from you overseas. You understand? you know And for instance, what he's just trying to say, because Cadbury and most of these companies in Nigeria, people export their own products without them being exporting it. People export Cadbury product to Ghana. People export it to other places, but they follow that informal route. People, people take Indomie to London. I hope you've heard about that. You
Wow.
understand? People take, yes. When I was going to Ghana, I saw somebody just covered the whole of the back seat. I said, what's this? He says Indomie. Why are you carrying Indomie to? Say, the guys, they started laughing. I said, so this one not an export. You understand? And the guy kept having issues. He would just keep settling. Whenever we get to any boundary, he will come down and keep settling, keep settling, keep settling. It's same from at the end. I said, how much do you even make? Because the demand there will also determine how much he will get. At the end, they don't really get so much money per se. But when you are doing a formal thing and you factor this whole thing into your costs, okay, and it will inform your negotiation with the client on over there. You tell them, no, this is what the cost is, because you already know it. It's not as if, do you understand? You know all your documentation is covering for so many things, and the white man will just pay you off because you understand this is legal, it's legit, and you're following the normal due process. I just wanted to point that out. Thank you very much. Okay, do we have any
Okay.
more question on this side? Mr. Tosin, good evening. Mr. Tosin, good evening. All right.
Good evening, sir. I'm following, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Well done, well done. Mr. James Okoli, are you here?
Sorry, sir. I have a question.
Okay.
The videos, do they really stream very well on a particular browser? Because I notice I do have issues with the watching the videos. I don't know why. I don't know. It's like that
Really?
platform is someone have to have a very strong internet, or I don't really get, because some of the videos it will stop at some point. I will reconnect again, it would not load well. Is there a particular
Okay.
browser
Okay.
that works best?
I guess I will ask the your colleagues. Valentina, do you have the same issue?
No, I didn't have any issues with the video.
Which browser do you use to for your own? Is it Edge or
I use Chrome. I
okay.
use Chrome. Like this processing class, I had issues with connection several times, but when I tried to watch videos on YouTube, it was streaming well. But if I go to that platform, at some point, it will just be scrolling, scrolling, scrolling for some time, 30 minutes before it will come back again, you know. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's my
Yeah,
network. I use MTN,
it should
sha.
be a network
Maybe I might just
because
need
I think I
another.
experienced
Yes.
that too.
okay, you
I
did too.
Yes, it just cuts off in the middle of the whole thing, and it keeps
Exactly. Same
rolling, and
challenge.
so I use Chrome too. So maybe is Chrome, because my internet is very strong where I am. You get, so I don't know. But the thing is, I do log out. Like I end the whole thing. Like I log out of Chrome and then try logging in back, and then everything is okay again. So maybe you should try that too.
Okay, maybe you can also try Microsoft Edge. You understand? You know, try the if you're using the newest version of Edge. Okay, and that can be because that's what I use for Seller, and because I'm also taking courses in other on Seller for other places. So and I use this thing. Once it happens that way, I'll refresh it. Especially I use Seller, and after a while it comes back again. I guess maybe just change your browser. Let's see. Because Valentina, do you have any such issue?
No, I didn't have any issue with that.
Oh, okay. So let's try to change our browser. Okay, and
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me make comments on that. Three things can cause it: your
Okay.
browser, your network, and the system you're using. Those are the three things that can cause it. Because the software you're using, seller is on its own okay. But if your network is not strong, it will buffet and it will just be rolling before it comes up. That's one. Second is the browser that you're using. Chrome is known to buffer a lot. So you could use Edge as suggested. That's two. Then the third one is the what you're using. If you're using a phone and the space on that phone has reduced, you're going to be having that problem. Also, if you're using a PC and the space on that PC is also reduced, that is, you don't have enough space in that PC, apart from the browser that you're using, is likely to give you the same thing. So uh, um, probably you decongest your phone or your laptop for you to be able to have enough space and flow freely. Then you can also update your browser and use more efficient browser. Then be sure that your network is purely properly connected. It will eradicate some of those things. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I think that's being said. Do we have any other concern with respect to the course we're taking? We took this week so that we can wrap up. Okay. Any more concerns?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, what's the meaning of refractive index? That's under the palm oil part. They made mention of refractive index. So I wanted to know what that means.
Refractive index. Yes, is that what you're asking for?
Yes, sir.
No. Refractive index is the index at which the oil is supposed to act or reflect. You know that physically, let me use physical, then I'll go to the lab tests. Physically, when you look at oil, you could see yourself in its mirror image, right? Raw, you are not supposed to is to show that refraction. But at what point
Okay.
does it show that refraction? That's fine point. Okay, so that it moves from the palm to in labs. You measure it and it's index. It has a minimum standard crude oil to refract at that particular level. So that is the did you get that?
His line kept breaking up.
The line
Is
is
it?
breaking.
Line
Okay,
kept
okay,
breaking.
okay. Now I said when refractive index, it is the point which that um, oil is supposed to change from the present stage to another stage. So some of these things you get them because you're going to find it from palm oil to vegetable oil. So, and vegetable oil is always refractive. So, at what point does it change? That's your refractive index. So, in test, you pour them and you'll be able to measure the refractive index. That's why it has a figure. So, on that particular figure, the refractive index, that's the best point of it. Then, if it is higher than that, the quality is of a low standard. So that's uh, what happens in refractive index. Do you have another
I hope
question?
that's clear. Valentina,
So
I hope that's
in that case, the lower the refractive index, the better the quality of the palm oil. That
Yes,
that is
exactly.
that.
Yes, that's exactly
Okay.
because it has a standard. The standard is 0.4321 and so on. That's the figure for the refractive index.
Okay.
Okay,
okay.
more questions?
So we've just done like 30 minutes. This is um um we still have more time, but I want to know the most important thing is our ability to grasp what we have in the course, because at the end of this whole program we are gonna get into a mentorship whereby we can be able to experience it, you know, in real time. Okay. But perhaps it'll be good that you get a very good grasp, okay, on them what is being taught. So we want to make sure that this our AMA session, ask me anything session, it's is yielding good fruit, good results, okay, meaning that you are really getting your understanding what we are discussing. Okay, so do we still have any more question at this point, so that we don't assume that um all is clear?
Please, James, I've not heard from you, James. You've not asked anything. Are you going through the model? If you do, please ask your question. Okay, Tosin, are you getting it? If you still have questions, let's hear where you did not pick it.
Okay, no,
I will
okay, I
still
think
go back to the video. Just like I said to Mr. Ruben, I had issues with connection. So I will try all that you have said and then go back to the videos again and watch them again.
okay, that's fine. Whatever it is, on Saturday next week, we can always table it. We will handle it. Okay, even within, you don't even need to wait till Saturday. If you're still having that issue, you can kindly report on the group. If Caleb is not here, Caleb will be able to find out a better solution, especially for you, so that you make sure that you have a good streaming. Okay, but that's no problem. So as it is, we'll come to the end of our session for tonight. We'll look forward to our meeting same time next Saturday. So Amara, I hope you are good. I know you're up to speed right now. You're very much good, right?
Yes, I'm very
Okay,
much good. If there are more questions, I will ask.
okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, so see you all. Let's meet next time. By this time next week. Thank you, and do enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.